So I'm currently getting hit pretty hard by some login bots, and they're coming from a lot of different places, which is really hard to protect against. So if we look at the traffic here in WordFence, you can see I've actually set WordFence to just lock anything out that even tries to log in and fails. So under my firewall, under brute force protection, I've got lockout after one failure, count it over a period of a day and lock them out for 60 days, and lock out anything with an invalid username. So I've got really high restrictions right now, and you can see that I'm blocking tons and tons of different IP addresses that are coming in. So this thing had my server just completely getting beaten up. So if I look at the IPs locked out from being logged in, you can see all these these are all different IPs that have been locked out within the last 16 minutes ago. And if I keep scrolling down, 26 minutes ago, it's actually slowed way down since I've increased it. WordFence is doing a pretty good job to slow things down. Now the thing is, it's still hitting the CGI process, which is still taking down, causing a load on the server. So over here on this window, I'm running the top command. So just top, I'm watching, the statistics. I got a load average of 1.5, which is actually pretty high. It actually spiked up to about 20 for a while, and it took down the server. I had to reboot, and then I had to turn off the web server until I could figure out what was going on. It just kept spiking up to 20, and then that takes the server down to barely even being able to receive a command. I couldn't get anything back on the SSH. So this is the 1 minute average. I think it's the 1 minute, and so you can see it's below 1, which is normally this is like at 0.1 or 0.05. I'm still getting hit pretty good. Over here, I'm in the same logging into the same server. I'm just doing a tail on the access log just to see what they're going after. And what I could see here, and it's actually easier to see if I just do a top pipe through grep PHP, you'll see that these are all CGI processes, the PHP processes that are coming through. And so every time, right now they're trying to log into the John F website. There was a JFK. So this site over here, I'm looking at the JFKFC logs, which are these coming through, and you can see that they're trying to hit the WP login. So when this was up to 20, this was just rolling so fast that you could barely see it. It was just nonstop hits. This right here is probably me. Is probably me. With this window back here logged in. But you can see that this login stuff is different IPs trying to log in. That one ended in 18. This one ends in 20. They're all trying to log in. So they're hitting the server pretty hard, and they're hitting all the different sites, trying to brute force logins. So the WordPress is working pretty good, but remember that it still hits the /login.php before it loads WordFence. WordFence is now a CGI process, so every time they call it, they're calling a CGI process. The better thing for me to do would be to try and block, the WP login, maybe only give it access from a single IP at the Apache level, and let Apache divert it before it calls a CGI process, which is memory intensive. So that's about what's going on there. And you can see, I don't have a real strong server here, which is why it's just these few attacks are getting quite a bit of action on the memory. So it's a 2 gig processor, and if you look at top, the memory is 1 gig. So it's not a super strong processor, which is why at the small load it's getting, it's showing a higher load average. It's starting to calm down now. So I've done a good job. WordFence is doing a good job of blocking those IPs, and it looks like whatever the attacking engine is discovering that it's getting locked out, and it's not continuing to keep trying those over.